Hello, one and all, and welcome to episode 197 of Love at First Scent with me, Persolaise, coming live on YouTube. And I think we're going to get straight into it. For the benefit of those of you watching live, if you're just tuning in, this is actually the second of 3 planned live videos that we're doing today. So if you want to go back and watch the first one when the live stream is over, then you need to search for Garla Aqua Allegoria. First comment goes to Yura, who says, hello again, wearing L'Envol from Cartier EDP today, very much enjoying it. That is such an underrated piece of work. I think I need to do another L'Envol video. Seriously underrated piece of work. Rich is here as well. A2Z1 says good morning from San Francisco. Very good morning to you as well. Eric is here too. Please keep the comments and the questions coming. What are we doing in this next video? Well, this is a brand that until very recently was completely unknown to me. The brand is Aman, and this is what one of their boxes looked like. So I'll be very curious to know how many of you have heard of them. And the brand actually started life as a chain of a luxury, I don't know if they're hotels per se, but they're certainly luxury accommodations. So villas around the world. I think they may be hotels as well. And I hadn't heard of them either, which just shows you how many luxury hotels and villas I've stayed in over the years. And they recently released some perfumes, all of which have been made by Jacques Chabert, who has also made some scents for Molton Brown and for Tom Daxon. I think they have a clothing range as well. But as I say, I knew absolutely zero about them. You know, somebody even said to me, "Oh, you know, have you tried the new scents from Aman?" And I had to sort of say, "Do you mean Oman?" So I had no clue. This is an older one. You haven't heard them because you've gone to so many that you can't remember, says Woozy. I wish. And there we go. Sam is saying the hotels. Yes, apparently so. Five Me says, I'm wearing Armani Privé Te Yulong. A2Z1 says never heard of them either. This is an older one. The two new ones are called Sei and Haru. And I think they are all inspired by specific hotel or luxury villa locations. This is an older one. And I wanted to show you, this is the only one that I've got in a full bottle because it's very fussy packaging, but I suppose quite good packaging. I would imagine that this is done on some kind of laser cutter, the way the things can be done nowadays. So you open that bit, and then you get a sort of internal cardboard container thing, which you then have to pull out. And if anybody from the brand is watching and I'm butchering this, I'm really sorry. And then you get a pouch, because of course, you know, you need to have everything in there. And then once you have released the bottle from the pouch, you get this. And I think that's actually quite an attractive bottle. It made me wonder whether they're going for, you know, spa zen, which is always slightly dubious territory, because you imagined like whale music playing in the background and water quietly trickling away, and heaven knows there is a market for that. But I think it's the kind of thing that maybe also starts veering towards blandness. And yes, thank you, Gavin, very Shiseido looking. And I do think that one of their first hotels may have been in Japan. So there we go. We will smell them very quickly. We ought to smell the new ones. I remember being taken with one of them more than the other, but I can't remember which was which, so it'll be interesting rediscovering. Nubianet says, Aman, I only know them from the Luxury Travel Expert's YouTube channel. He loves their hotels. They're gorgeous, interesting. I'm sure they must be gorgeous. And Ledleb is saying, discovered your channel while you were on a break recently and been binge watching. Your content is the gold standard for online fragcom. Thank you very much. That's praise indeed. Consider me a new fan and regular viewer. Good luck from India. Oh, please tell me where in India. I'd love to be able to picture where you might be. And Sam says Tokyo was the first one. Okay, so let's smell this one as we've got the proper bottle. And this is called Umbr, or Umbr. And I didn't want to have too many sniffs of it because I thought, let's save this for a video. But I seem to remember thinking, oh, okay, there is something interesting going on here. Angeline says Aman is famous for their luxury resorts in hideaway locations, but they have great architects for these projects. And Ledleb is saying Northern India, a city called Chandigarh. I haven't made it there, but I have been very, very fortunate to have done a little bit of traveling around India, and it would be wonderful to go back. Okay, so what would you expect from a scent called umber? I mean, it could be a play on words, and if you were expecting something ambery but also something quite dark, then you would be absolutely right, because that's what you get. But you get it done very well. So if you were to imagine something like Serge Lutin's Ambre Sultan, but put into a spa zen setting, so everything kind of toned down, with people very sort of demurely walking around saying, "Welcome to my zen spa, Mr. Bond," before pulling out a Kalashnikov. Maybe not, no Kalashnikovs in this scent, but you know what I mean, that very, very composed, quiet whale music vibe, which I'm not knocking at all. You know, we all need a little bit of whale music vibe in our lives every now and then. That's what you get here. So you get in many ways a classic amber with a marked incense note, but toned down and done, I think, very, very well. Sei is a type of whale, says Gavin. Oh, I have no clue. We need to we need to smell the whale one. Let's see what press info I've got. I've got two blurbs on the brand here. There's a lot about the hotels. There you go. It says that in 2018 they launched Aman Skincare. Then there was a wellness supplement brand. And then they started with their 5 EDPs, one of which was Umber, made by Jacques Chabert. What do they say about Umber? That's inspired by Aman Venice. Interesting. Venetian opulence past, a rich and layered fragrance combining the depth of oak and leather with precious moments of spice, inspired by the grand 16th century palazzo of Aman, Venice. Umber is shrouded by a hidden history of luxury and refinement, the Latin term for shadow. Absolutely. And it's got top note of black pepper, rose and saffron, to which I would say, yes, it does. Heart notes of a cypriol, orange blossom and geranium, to which I would say, definitely cypriol, and base notes of amber, leather and sandalwood, to which I would say yes to the leather and amber. So you can just even see from the notes that it's a pretty classic woody, incensey, rose, amber, and it does the job well. I would imagine that the brief was for it to be more on the restrained side, more on the quiet side, and that can sometimes be quite tricky. You know, taking these large materials, these heavy hitters, but making them fairly quiet. It's actually heading more towards the sort of leathery aspects of vetiver now, but it does the job well. Let's try the whale one. Now I have to be careful with these. Now we shouldn't say that it definitely is a whale. I think it's just, who was it that said, oh, it's Norwegian for pollock, says Gavin. Okay, I think probably that's not what they were going for. Gavin says it must have a Japanese meaning. I doubt they've named a perfume after pollock. There's a range in there, you know. Pesca scent. We could have mackerel. We could have cod. What would you can see it now. Maybe Frederick Mal needs to do a sub range. Édition de poisson de Frederick. I need to be careful with these because the last time I tried to tip some liquid out of these lab sample-y bottles, a whole load came gushing out. There you go, like it's doing now. But this is Sei. I do have some press material on it, so we will find out what it's meant to be, where it's meant to be inspired by. Try not to get too much on my hands. There is a lot on here now, actually. You can even see that, I think, on your screens. Now this straight hits you with juniper and gin notes, but again toned down, attractively so. So not Penhaligon's Juniper Sling, but something much quieter. There's a cedar inflection there. There's incense wafting through as well. Dior Poisson. Oh, very good, Rich. Yes, yes. Sei means holy, sacred, and other similar connotations in Japanese, says Gavin. Okay, so this is, you know, if it's trying to be meditative, if it's trying to be incensey, it absolutely hits the spot again. But it does, and there's soapiness bubbling up though. More interesting than Juniper Sling. Then I do feel that one's a bit safe. Juniper Sling, it was a huge hit for Penhaligon's. It continues to be a huge hit. I never really got the fuss about it, but it's fine. Sei is the second new fragrance to join the existing collection. So if we go with the timeline, they had the five, which were inspired by the brand's flagship city hotel, Aman Tokyo. Sorry, let's try again. So the Haru is inspired by Tokyo, and Sei actually is inspired by the Utah desert retreat, Amangiri. Interesting. So Utah desert. Sei is the second new fragrance to join the existing collection, capturing one of Earth's most alluring settings with a uniquely intense aroma profile, evoking the feeling of nightfall in a silent desert. Silent is right. Notes of pine needle and juniper. Okay, so there we go. Juniper, and the pine is probably where I was going with the incense. Through a haze of dry sage and lavender. Yeah, okay, you can have that. To reveal smouldering cedar and labdanum. Both earthy and woody, Sei is rooted in the wilderness where the daily rhythms of the Utah desert and the renewal and rebirth that has defined this ancient region for millennia speak to the soul of Amangiri, an iconic desert sanctuary. And apart from whatever this soapiness is that's coming through, maybe the use of musk, so we will have to see how we do with the blotter update on this. It again, thumbs up. Very, very, very well done and very convincing in terms of the relationship with the brief. Druba says, it's been ages since I've been able to catch you live. Always relaxed and entertained when I get to join. Thank you very much. But it has also actually been ages since I've done one, if we don't count last week's. I've got episode 200 coming up. I feel like maybe I should do something special for it, but maybe I should save it for episode 250. As we've done the two, we need to do Haru as well, seeing as it's inspired by Tokyo. Oh, bit more. Okay, that's probably enough. Oh, God, I've got loads on there now. Never mind. Thank goodness these smell all right, actually. It would be a very different story if they didn't have quite such an attractive olfactory profile. So this is Haru. Yeah, and I think Sei was the one that I was more taken with, probably because it was woody and piney and incensey. Haru really has got that Zen spa vibe. It's like walking into a serene beauty salon. Rich says, do Kouros for episode 200. I'll send you some of the original formula. I'm scared. Let's talk about it later. You want an episode? You want a special episode where I'm basically knocked over the head by Kouros. This is sweeter, gentler, more curvaceous, more rounded, more introspective. But the main notes that are coming through are a sort of gentle orange blossomy, maybe mildly vanillic feel. Very, very subtle florals, subtle sweet florals. Angeline says, I haven't smelt it for a long time, but is it anything close to Voyage d'Hermès? No. I mean, that one is sort of translucent woods. Let's see what they say about this one. So, a fresh and energizing fragrance. Haru takes its inspiration from Aman Tokyo, set high above the city in the Otemachi Tower. The hotel's floor-to-ceiling windows frame the skyline where no two views ever appear the same. Changing with the seasons, Haru's contemporary notes capture the city in full bloom where the breeze is soft and the blossom appears in full colour. Do you know, I wonder if actually what they're trying to do is blossom, like cherry blossom, and that's hard. Named after the Japanese word for spring. Who told me it was sacred? Delicate floral layers mingle with soft apricot and green tea accents on the smoothest musks. Gently fruity, okay. Warmed by the tobacco tonalities of mate leaves, the scent further reflects a sense of harmony and tradition found in the city, echoing the sentiments found not only at Aman Tokyo, but Amanemu and Aman Kyoto as well. Okay. And somebody's given me an actual character saying spring season. Right, but at least they haven't overtly gone for sakura. I've got some of the original Feminité du Bois if you prefer. What is this? Have you got like some amazing stash? We definitely need to talk later. So, okay, thank goodness they haven't gone for sakura. But if they're going for gentle, restrained, quiet, subtle fruitiness that's got a little bit of apricot-like bite, then okay, they've done that. But I suppose maybe the fact that it's fruity sweet is what makes it a tiny little bit less interesting. So there we go. 3 from Aman. I don't know what the other ones are. Perhaps I will get a chance to try them at some point. But if you are sticking around for the next episode, I'll be back in a few minutes with one that I genuinely haven't smelt before. So it's really going to be a case of, is it love at first scent? See you soon.